Welcome back to P3. A decrease in edible fish has caused a massive lack of protein for the local population surrounding Lake Victoria in Uganda. I had a chance to speak with Professor Berta Levani-Savan of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem about what they are doing to deal with that problem. Professor, you are an expert in fish reproduction, and what I'm really interested in is the story of how you're taking your expertise and applying it in Uganda in Africa to help people there who don't have protein. Tell me the story because it's really cool.
Okay, I will tell you the story. The story starts something like 50 years ago when the legend tells something about a British soldier that took a fish that is named the Nile perch, which is a very large fish and is a predator, and he moved it from the Nile, from the river Nile to Lake Victoria. And what happens to Lake Victoria is what happens always when you take a predator and you put it in another place, in a new place. And actually what happens during these 15 years is that this fish ate all of the other fish all the other fishes in the lake. Which ecologically, of course, it's a big disaster. But I'm not dealing with the ecological part. And what we came to do, since my lab is an expert in breeding carp, we eat a lot of carps here in Israel, the gefilte fish, and my lab is entitled in this project for many, many years. And what we noticed is historically, most of the small households, small families that used to live around the lake, and it's in their culture to grow their own food. So they grow everything in their yard. And the father of the family usually went out to the lake, just fish out few fishes, and this was the main protein especially of his children.
Right, but now there's no protein because there's no fish.
No fish, no protein.
Right.
And during the years, you can really see a very high degree of malnutrition, especially in children, which is very, very obvious. And what we said is that we don't deal with the lake and with the disaster. What we try to do is to teach them how to do aquaculture, to take the last few carps that are still in the rivers and to inject them, to spawn them, to take the larvae and to grow African carps in aquaculture.
So you're going to teach them the complex ways of how to farm fish.
Exactly, how to farm carps.
And what you described is in very, very small ways, just for like one family, one pond. Explain how that works. It's really interesting.
Okay, so what we did, we have now four large farms that knows all the technology. The head of the farms came here to Israel for several months, and really we taught them how to inject and how to spawn and how to feed and all this, the complicated story of how to grow fish.
Right.
And they are they are the main story, and they are producing the fish. And they send small fries, something like 100 to 200 fish, no more than this, to very, very small villages, very far away villages, that usually don't have any electricity, and I'm not sure that all the children are going to school or something like this. And they just dig a very large hole in the ground.
Like 8 feet big.
Something like this.
It's not very large.
Not very large.
Yeah.
For 100 fish, you don't need more than this. It's not even a pool. It's a big hole, no more than this, in the middle of the village. We put our fish there, and because the main thing that Uganda has, and I wish we had the same, is a lot of water, and very good water. So immediately the hole is filled with water, and we put our fish there, and they just grow.
Yeah. And every day you can go get your fish for the day.
Twice a week you can take out 2, 3 fish. Last time I was in Uganda in last July, and I saw a mother whose name is Sabrina, and she has 6 children between the age of 14 and 3 years old. And I saw her going to this small pond, taking out 3 fish, just boil them in water on a small oven, no more than this, cut each fish to half, and each child, each one ate something like, I don't know, 2 centimeters of a fish. And her smaller son was 3 years old. And in the middle of the whole story, I thought to myself, it's 3 years old. How can he eat such a small fish? and he ate it so nice that you saw this is not the first time that he's eating a fish. He knew how to take out the meat and how to handle with the small bones, and he really ate the fish.
I mean, what's so beautiful about the project is you taking your expertise, going into a developing world, giving them a resource that they can reproduce themselves, so that they have a sustainable agriculture, as you said, now that they can feed their kids.
Exactly, and they do it. They don't depend on me. They don't depend on nothing, on any technologies or anything that I should send them again and again. I just taught them. They were here. They were very well taught, and now they can do it by their own. That's
See, to me, I just think that the ability now to be able to reproduce that in hundreds of villages across Africa, every village should have a little pond with fish.
With fish,
it would be an amazing way to deal with issues of feeding the world.
Feeding the world, especially in terms of protein, which is the most important thing.
Well, thank you so much for the work you're doing, the research. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Coming up next, I get a chance to talk to the founder of Wikipedia.